sense. It would be very inspiring for us. After reading whatever is there, it'll make more sense to us as well, whatever we've seen with our own eyes, more so when we were in Grenada, as to how perhaps Grenada was the last standing, I guess, emirate or area or territory that was not treated like some of the other areas, or some of, for instance, whether it was Sevilla or whether it was Cordoba, whatever it was. So basically going back to Grenada now that we're leaving, ironically, but going just a little bit on Grenada itself. So everything, alhamdulillah, we've heard from the pros. They're professionals. Brother Muhammad, may Allah reward him immensely for his efforts, for his time, for his education, for his wonderful keeping us up to date or informed of everywhere that we were going. And yesterday the brother as well, mashallah, Brother Tariq, he did a remarkable job when we were there in Al Hamra Palace. So I think everybody's been listening, and we have a very good idea of what was going on in Spain during that time, for the over 700 years that the Muslims were here. One thing I would like to say, this point has already been made, or maybe in different words it was already stated, but if you do read the history of Spain from a few, at least from a few different Muslim perspectives, you'll come to one conclusion. And it wasn't that we were actually, we were tortured or we were massacred mercilessly, or it was the reason why there is so much lesson for us to take from Spain is that it was we who did this to ourselves. And this isn't only in Spain that something of this nature has occurred. This has happened many times from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam until now. As a matter of fact, this also happened in the Battle of Uhud as well. In the Battle of Uhud, where the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had, I'm going to get to Spain, I'm going to come back. He had told the Sahaba, 50 of them, 50 crack selected archers under the leadership of a Sahabi by the name of Abdullah bin Jubair. This isn't Zubair pronounced Jubair. This is actually Abdullah bin Jubair is the name of the Sahabi. So they were appointed to keep watch, to stand there and to make sure, regardless what the outcome of the battle may seem, they were not to move from their posts. These Sahaba radiallahu anhum initially, they agreed, they went up to the mountain pass and they were there keeping watch. And in a very short little period of time, Allah Ta'ala granted what looked like a victory to the Muslims in Uhud. And so these 50 who were appointed there were not to move under any circumstance, whether it was a defeat or it was a victory for the Muslims. 40 of those 50 decided to leave their post. Abdullah bin Jubair and 9 others, 10 of them, they encouraged those 40 to come back, go back to your spots. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had given us very clear instructions not to leave. And if you do, it's not going to be good, because we're breaking the instruction of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But they continued to advance. And if those of us who have read the history of Uhud, what happens after that is very sad to the Muslims. What could have been a very easy